It is my distinct honor and privilege to pay tribute today to one of my District 5 predecessors, the Honorable Rose Crenca. Right here. Rose has led a remarkable life of public service to her community. Her story is a classic Montgomery County story of a civic activist stepping up and working very hard for the improvement of our community. After graduating from American University, she was a school teacher for 10 years. And when she moved to Silver Spring in 1949, and later when she and her late husband Jack bought a home there in 1957, she immersed herself in civic affairs, volunteering with a number of grassroots groups. She was in many ways a prototypical civic activist fighting to improve her neighborhood's quality of life. And then in 1978, encouraged by many of her friends, Rose took the ultimate civic plunge, politics, and she was elected to the first of her 3 terms on the Montgomery County Council. During those years, she led the way for passage of many of the public health and safety measures that we take for granted today and from which we all benefit. She threw herself also into the very thorny challenge of the revitalization of Silver Spring, an area where decades later all of Montgomery County enjoys the benefits of Rose's patience and hard work. She also earned the respect of her colleagues who elected her council president, vice president, and president pro tem. And she must have been doing something right in the eyes of her constituents as well, because the voters re-elected her twice to the Montgomery County Council. So now, 60 years after buying her home in Silver Spring, Rose is moving soon to Riderwood. And if you know Riderwood, it's a wonderful retirement community on the border of Montgomery County and Prince George's County. And yes, lucky for all of us, and for me in particular, Rose is staying on the Montgomery side of Riderwood and will remain one of my District 5 constituents and continue to hold our feet to the fire. So tonight, before her move, the Sligo-Brandview Civic Association and their president, Becky Lavash, is honoring Rose with a big celebration tonight, and so therefore it's very appropriate for us today to declare today Rose Crenca Appreciation Day. It's such a sweet occasion for her and for all of us who truly appreciate her dedication and lasting legacy to Montgomery County. So, Rose, come on up and receive your proclamation. Let me grab it. Yeah, very fancy. They weren't like this in 1978? All right.
Quite as big.
All right. So there's a little more detail about Rose's lasting legacy I want you all to listen to. Whereas Rose Crenca has been a well-regarded and passionate grassroots activist in Montgomery County since her involvement with the Sligo-Brandview Civic Association, Maryland Environmental Coalition, the League of Women Voters, Montgomery County Civic Federation, and the Allied Civic Federation, among others. And whereas as a result of her extensive and successful community advocacy, Rose was first elected to the County Council in 1978 and would go on to serve 12 years, including terms as President, Vice President, and President Pro Tem. Whereas during her time on the council, Rose played a large role in charting the county's future by serving on the Planning, Housing, and Economic Development Committee, the Finance Committee, and the Health and Human Services Committee. And whereas, while she self-identified as just a housewife, Rose led the charge on legislation to require children to wear bicycle helmets, the installation of fire sprinklers in new homes, the certification of public pool lifeguards, the installation of fencing around swimming pools, and the designation of non-smoking areas in restaurants. How about that? And whereas Rose was always committed to getting at the heart of issues, including the redevelopment of downtown Silver Spring, and employed good-natured humor and conscientious leadership to approach the most contentious subjects with tact, Rose's years of spirited civil and public service within the county have been and will continue to be thorough and indelible. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby recognizes Tuesday, December 12th, 2017, as Councilmember Rose Crenca Appreciation Day for her outstanding service to Montgomery County and wishes her great success in all her future endeavors. Presented on the 12th day of December, 2017, Hans Reamer, Council President. Rose Crenca, everyone.
I'm shorter than he is. I want you to know I appreciate this much of attention. It's been a while since I sat in this room. It looked a lot different. I liked it better in the old way when they had bacon stripes up and down the side over there. You all don't remember that. You're too young. However, I do want you to know, especially for the young people in the audience, This county is the best place in the whole world. You just don't know how lucky you are to be living in such a wonderful place as Montgomery County. I learned the hard way by living here for almost all of my 91 years, and I want you to know every year it gets better and better, partly because of the people sitting behind me. I want you, those of you who are not active in your county yet, you should be. And someday I want you to run for office. Now, these people spend entirely too much money running for office. I want to give you a word of wisdom. I ran for office the first time in 1978. I ran countywide, not just by a narrow district, countywide for $7,000. At that time, I thought that was an outrageous amount of money to waste on something like politics. I still think it's too much. I could feed a lot of people with $7,000. However, I don't understand how it got to be like that. And the most I ever spent, the last time, I spent all of $20,000. I thought for sure that was a mortal sin because there are a lot of people hungry that we should be spending that kind of money on. I don't understand what goes on in politics. I don't know. As many years as I've been in the political world, I still don't understand the politics part of it. But at any rate, I'm glad the citizens put me here. I want you to know being on the county council is very, very, very hard work. I know in my church you're supposed to remember to keep holy the Sabbath. That is, you're supposed to not be working on Sunday. I can't remember a year when I wasn't working on Sunday. If you don't work on Sunday, you can't get all the work done. There's an awful lot of reading, a lot of research, a lot of meetings to go to, and you better get there because you need to. I am very grateful for the privilege of serving on Montgomery County Council, and I have no intention of leaving Montgomery County. When I told people I was moving to Riderwood, they said, "Oh, that's in Prince George's County." I said, "Only part of it is. I am going to live in that part of Montgomery County, Riderwood, that's in Montgomery County, and I want the people sitting behind me to know that I get to vote in the next election for Montgomery County officials. I want you also to know I plan to be active out there. They have a very active political structure out there, happens to be Democrat, which I also happen to be. And so you'll be hearing from me as a civic activist out in Riderwood. In the meantime, I want you people to get busy who aren't already involved. It's time you got busy, got out there, got active, and took part in your county government. It's a great, great, great government. And thank you for inviting me back. Bye-bye. Okay, you want to walk me back? Oh, do I get this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You go back over here.
Stay for a photo.
They're going to take the picture.
Oh, we're going to do a photo.
Yes, right here.
Right here.